Welcome to Papercraft Possibilities. I am Susan. Today we have a fun video. I had a lot of fun putting it together. It's a video of my favorite items in the craft room, and it's appropriate to give to Santa. Who's Santa in your life? A boyfriend, a girlfriend, a spouse, any family member who doesn't know quite what to buy for your craft room but wants to get you something special. This is that list. And then if you want to play Santa and you want to buy for yourself, I say go for it. Please keep in mind that the items, some of them are from Stampin' Up. Today is the last day to get free shipping, which is really an awesome deal. We all know how expensive shipping is right now. And the other thing is, below this video, there's a complete list of items with links to them, and you'll probably find that helpful. And then over on my website, I've put together a little letter from a crafter to Santa, and then the full list of items follows that. So you can go over and download that. Papercraftpossibilities.net. Boy, what happened to my voice? But papercraftpossibilities.net. And I'll also put a link down below if you'd like to go get that. So let's get started on the video. And here we go. Item number one. This is an electric die cutting machine that I have in my studio, and here I'm showing it to you on my work desk. And it is electronic because I have some arthritis, and sometimes it's just hard for us to crank the manual machine. Some of us, it's not an issue, but I enjoy having this machine. It sits behind me on basically like a credenza behind my work desk. Here I'm going to show you where you can put in some tools. I don't know, hide your fun money in there. Whatever you'd like. I'm going to show you how I put together my sandwich, is what they call it in our industry, where you make several layers, put them together. So you have a plastic layer. I have that black layer over there, which we'll discuss here in a minute. Then it goes on that board to the left, which I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with, but I'm just going to explain this a little bit more in detail in case someone's watching this that needs some more info. Then that's my on button there, and you're going to lay this in there, and it's going to catch up in the machine. You'll see it grab it there, and it comes back on the back end. But what I do is I use my reverse button, which is right there, and I send it back towards me. So it takes up less room with me in my office the way I use it, and that's just the way I like to do it. So here I'm going to show you what it does in case someone's not familiar with it. This is one of the die cuts from Stampin' Up, and I think I'll show you that in a minute. So here we go. Ta-da, a nice die cut. Another option to the machine I had just shown to you is this one, and this is the Griffin Empress electric cutting machine. And this one runs 330, and the reason why this one is just a little bit different than the other one, it has a larger cutting plate, so you could put more items in at once. And also it has that spinning plate down on the bottom, kind of like a, it's just like a little turntable, so you can run it through all the way and then switch it around and have your items come in the back. A lot of people really like this machine. Now let's talk about some manual options. This machine does everything the last two had done except it's manual. And all these machines are going to come with those cutting plates that you see over to the left on this picture. Now this next one's going to look a lot alike, but it's not. It's the mini version, and this is great to keep right at hand on your crafting desk because it doesn't take up too much room. And you just need that one, die cut. You don't want to get out everything. This is fantastic to have at hand. The other thing I've just seen is I went to a scrapbooking retreat just last month, I believe it was, and everyone had brought these because they're easy to pack, they're tiny. So if your crafter is traveling a lot, going to scrapbook, fun things to do, this is definitely something they would enjoy having under the Christmas tree. Now, as favorite things I've bought this year as far as tools go, this is on the top 10, and here we'll have it scoot down on the screen. Doesn't look like anything exciting, but boy, has it changed my crafting room. I used to run my plates, through my machine, and I'm sure if you've been around a crafter or you're a crafter yourself, you've noticed that horrible creaking sound when it goes to the machine, and your plates used to get all wobbly and warped. This thing has changed my life, and it really takes away from that warping. And then if you do get any wiggles in it, you just turn on your heating gun and run it over this mat, which is what they advise you to do. And just, shortly after that, ta-da! All the warping's gone and you're back to having a nice smooth plate. And I don't think any craft room would be complete without a Cricut machine. And I have a funny story to tell you. I had this machine for probably a year in my closet before I undid it because I was scared of it. And then I just got, the courage up. I unboxed it and it's easy to use. Watched a couple videos on YouTube and no big deal. And do I use this in almost every scrapbook page? Yep, I love it. Here I have a Cricut Maker, and there's actually a Cricut Maker 3 out, of which I've referred to you on my pricing sheet. And right now online for the holidays, these are running $3.49. Sorry, I'm looking down at my notes. And also, if you wanted to get a good gift for someone, if they already have a Cricut machine, these mats we tend to go through quite a bit that you'll see it's the green item down there. And I have found a really good place or a good supplier to get a group of 6 of them for, let's see, I have it on my mat here. Excuse me, it's a group of 8 for $14.99. So that would also be another good gift item if someone already has a Cricut, or to buy as a group item. And you can see how well this cuts here as I pull off the paper. Again, I think every crafter needs to have this. The other thing, if you are interested in getting a gift, is there's a monthly access to the artwork, which is what I'm showing here. And that runs $9.99 a month, or you can get a year for $95.88. And here are those mats that we just talked about. Now we're going to talk about stamp positioners. And what I mean by a stamp positioner is, I'm sure we've all done it. You stamp something and then it doesn't look quite right. And you try to line up your stamp again and it just doesn't work. So this tool takes away that issue. And I'm going to show you a video here of what I mean. I'm also going to show you that I actually have 3 of these. I have a 12-inch, the largest one, which I use when I have a lot of stamping I want to do all at once so I can get it done quickly. This is the medium size one. I use this one a lot too. These are always handy and right next to my desk. And there is a smaller version, which I've listed on the full list of items down below or on my website. I'm going to show you here what it does. This is a sticky mat. I'm putting my piece of cardstock down in the lower right-hand corner. And then I'm going to put my stamp where I want it to stamp. Then I'm going to close the lid here in a minute, and it's going to pick up my stamp. And I'm going to put down my paper again, and I'm going to make sure it's down in that right-hand corner, nice and tight. I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I'm going to stamp it. Now, say for instance you're using a really light ink, and you need it to be stronger. This stamp happens to come out fine, but if you're using like a light pink or something like that and you wanted a stronger color version, then you could just keep stamping and stamping until you get it as dark as you want, and that's the joy of that machine. Now let's look at some score buddies. I have 2 scoring plates here. And I tell you, I really like this blue one the best by Score Buddy. And the reason being is that the numbers or the measurements are easy to read, and it also has 8-inch notations on there too. The one I have here that I'm showing to you is a 12-inch, which again, I couldn't be without. But when I get a chance, I'm going to be ordering the 12-inch in the Score Buddy because it's so much easier to read. And here I'm showing you what you do with the Score Buddy. You run these down and you make straight score lines, so your cardstock is easy to bend, and it comes with a little scoring tool. Earlier you saw me use this. It's a heat gun that so many crafters can use for many different things. We use it for dry embossing, we use it for watercoloring. So it's just kind of a must in a craft room. So that there is a heat gun. Now, I know I'm not alone when I say things disappear from craft rooms every once in a while when you have family. And this is one of them that used to disappear on me. So I went out and got my own. That's my crafting room. This is a label maker, and this happens to be my favorite one. I've had several over the years. You have different heights of text you can do, different sizes, and you can actually put 2 lines of text onto one label. And I use this to label everything in my craft room. That's just how my brain functions. So there you go, and it's listed down below on how to get this. Our next item here is from a company called Stampin Storage. This is the newest product that they've come out with for ink storage, and this company is just phenomenal to work with, and the quality of their products are phenomenal. It is a Miller company. These carousels, you just need room to turn them around, so you can either have them on desktop or they fit in a calyx unit, and those calyx units are the ones that most of us crafters have in our room from IKEA. So they do slip in there. Excuse me. The kind I have are on the wall because I had readily available wall storage. So just know what your crafter needs. And the other thing is, if you wanted to buy one as a gift, you just want to slip into that craft room and figure out what ink she has, and if she has different brands, which one she has the most of, or he or she, I should say, and then order appropriately because you'll need that information when you order. So I love these. I love the company, and I love the quality that they offer. Now let's talk about this big boy. He's been in my craft room for many years. This is a large format printer from Canon, and I can print sizes from 13 inches by 16 inches in my machine. And I love this for using my scrapbook with my favorite photography. I'll actually print it out 12 by 12. I can use this in my 6 by 8 albums because then I can do a double spread of one picture. And I use luster and semi-gloss finish papers, and I've listed those down below in the 3 sizes that I like to get. So hopefully you'll enjoy this one. This machine, this photo printer, the Epson PictureMate PM400, is on my Christmas wish list. Santa, are you listening? Wink, wink. I had recently seen this at the retreat I mentioned earlier, and it's just so handy. It's so small, it can sit right in front of you on your craft desk. You can print up to a 5x7 on this. And what's nice too about this, not only the size, but you can also then have your other machine available for your family members that need to print, normal business items, homework, that type of thing. And this one will just be for picture printing. That's it. So hopefully that'll find its way under my tree. Here we have the magnetic, let me see if I get the name right, the magnetic glass craft mat. And the size I have is 24 by 36. I love this because it's just easy up in the craft room. You can just, wipe up your paints, whatever you're using, and it's all done. I also like that it has the notations of sizes on it, which is fantastic. And I think this runs, let me look at my notes. The size I have runs $249.99. And the little things at the top, like those little chess pieces there, they brought out a new one, which when you look at my video tomorrow for stocking stuffers, you will see those in there. They're a nice addition to when you're buying this glass mat, to have it with it, or just do an add-on later and stick it in the stocking. Stick it in the stocking. I can never get that right. So these are the old ones that they have. They're not quite as strong as the ones I'll mention tomorrow for the stocking stuffer. Now let's talk about paper trimmers. Something every paper crafter would need in their room. And this is my favorite for 12-inch papers. And here you'll see the 2 little knobs over to the right. One is a light gray, one is a dark gray. One is used for scoring and one is used for cutting. And here I'm going to show you it and how it works. The one on the right we'll go to in a minute. This one is the arm comes out, and that way it keeps your 12 by 12 papers, or you know, anything that's in between there in sizes, it'll keep it nice and straight. And here I'm going to show you both of those little knobs. That one I just push up when I don't need it. And here I cut. And then I'm going to show you some scoring. And this is just for a quick scoring when you don't want to pull out your scoring boards that I had shown to you earlier. And this works out great. So I just love this one, and I've had it in my craft room for a while and have enjoyed using it. It stays right near me again, so it's readily available. And this one I believe goes up to, I think, 16 inches and not 12 inches. Don't hold me to it, but it'll definitely hold your 12 by 12 papers. Then we're going to talk about my other cutting machine, which is definitely on my crafting desk right near me, because if you just need something and you need to take off a hair of paper, this is my guillotine trimmer, and I believe it's an 8-inch one. It's listed in the information below, and it does a really clean cut. And also that guard right there protects your fingers. Again, I would keep this away from little ones, but if you're worried about your own fingers, there you go. And last but not least, we have a good storage system for small things like your sequins, your beads, your gems. And I like having this in my drawer next to me. It goes into, I've forgotten the name of them, but my IKEA drawers that are pretty shallow. So this lays down flat like this in your drawers, so you can see exactly what you have without having to lift everything up just to find that one item that you need. So this is definitely on the list, and something that every crafter would appreciate. And I just finished the video, so hopefully you were able to gain some knowledge from that. Maybe you were able to add to your shopping list. Maybe you were able to print out that shopping list and kind of circle a few things and just happen to leave it out, you know, where your family, your Santa could see that. And hopefully you'll enjoy the little letter that I attached to that. That's kind of cute. Letter to Santa from any crafter. So I would love to know if there's things that aren't in the video and you would suggest down below. I would highly like to know, and I think everyone else who reads the comments would like to know. I'm always willing to learn. I'm always looking for things that allow me more creativity and time saving, in the craft room. So please leave that suggestion, down below. And I would be honored if you would join me here on my YouTube channel by subscribing. And don't forget to go over to my website, papercraftpossibilities.net, and you can print out the list with the letter to Santa on it. And today is the last day for free shipping over at Stampin' Up. So if there are any Stampin' Up items that you saw on the list that you would really like, please don't forget today is the last day for free shipping. So until tomorrow, bye-bye.